Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, you're gonna get a real bang for your buck, baby! Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and I guess I should open today by stating that I have won another one of my big bets for the year 2014. Ground Zeroes is in fact the lowest rated Metal Gear Solid game mainline series on Metacritic, and there was in fact nothing I could do about it. And I have to be honest, this one hurts to get right, doesn't feel good, because I do in fact like Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. You know what, I'll say love. I love Ground Zeroes. I love that game. And the scary thing about liking Ground Zeroes publicly is that now I am part of the problem. Today's list, 3 reasons why I feel crazy for liking Ground Zeroes. Reason number 1, Ground Zeroes is a stupid thing to buy. Many still refer to Ground Zeroes as a glorified demo. It's hard to shake that term. If we could compromise, maybe glorious demo. Regardless of what we're calling it, it took me 72 minutes to get to the end of this glorious demo. And yes, there are things afterward. There are side missions and objectives, but they all take place in the same map that you already went through in some sort of alternate universe, non-canon, where nothing really matters. And therefore, much of what I actually love about Ground Zeroes is extracted. So let's just call it 72 minutes. It's a 72-minute story. And this costs $20 to $30 US. And that is, even in video game terms, a lot of money to spend on a 72-minute story. And with those names, Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I mean, those are both nonsense phrases. So there's really no indication whatsoever that one of these is a teeny tiny little prologue and one of these is a huge, enormous, full-fledged game. And unless you Google it, and even then if you do, it's pretty unclear what is going on there and what is which, and when Phantom Pain is coming out, nobody knows. Not even, it's just, when enough next-gen consoles come out, everything that could be working against this game is working against this game. If you like this game, you are an idiot! Number 2, I like it more than better games. So if we could rewind. Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation was a revolutionary game for a young Kyle Bosman because it is a video game about hiding and sneaking. Sneaking in real life is a blast. I could sneak all day. Sneaking in video games is inherently boring because nothing in games matters. Why would you sneak when you can run out and shoot people? But what Metal Gear Solid did, almost by necessity, was create a scenario and a story in which you care about this character and his context, and you don't mind hiding. A game that the world around it means so much to you that you don't mind hanging out in a cardboard box for a couple of minutes. And in contrast, just a couple of weeks ago, Game Trailers did top 5 Metal Gear Solid bosses of all time, and they were recording it in the back, and I remember walking by and just catching the scene in Metal Gear Solid 4 where Naomi was dying. She was kind of falling over and dying, and Otacon's little robot was rolling over, and he had the screen facing her, and through the screen was like weeping, and like, Naomi, weep, Naomi. And I just remember watching that and thinking, who cares about this? Who cares? And to me, that's like probably indicative of, I think, what was largely missing from Metal Gear Solid 4 is any reason to care about any of these people. That basically you're meant to care because you already cared about them in previous games, but that game, what a stinky mess it is. Recently, I played through Infamous Second Son. That game is great. That game is just so pretty. It's like the prettiest game I've ever seen in my life. It's gorgeous, and it's fun to run up a building. However, I played that game as just a mindless evil dude. I would like kick bodies. There'd be people who are like, I'm sick, please help me, and I would just kick them. Not because like that's what I wanted to do, but it's just because I didn't care about Delson or any of his dumb friends. I don't care what happens to you. And do you remember a year ago when this game was first announced, and Nate Fox was very overdramatic and kind of pitched us this very serious game. None of that translated into the final product, probably for the best. What I love about Ground Zeroes is that the caring is back. That thing I cared about in Metal Gear Solid, that context in which I wanted to be hiding, is back into the game. And it makes everything better, not just the cutscenes better, but like the scenario in which you are hiding around a corner, nervous. I was more invested in this game than anything else of this generation, and that's why I like it the most. And buddy, I played Knack. Number 3, I thought I was the good guy. So I'm in a pretty weird position having this weekly internet show, is that I should be pro-consumer, right? I should be the voice of the people. And I should say, hey everybody, go play Don't Starve. Support indies. You can play it for hundreds of hours for 15 bucks. Highly recommend. But instead, my heart belongs to Ground Zeroes. What can I say? I feel like it is important, I guess, for any human being to have opinions, and here I am. I think it's important for a human being to be wrong sometimes. My wrong opinion today is that Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is worth $30, and that I have no problem buying that and telling all the other fat cat publishers that I'm willing to spend $30 on 72 minutes of great game. Anyway, that is the show for this week. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman, but I will be back here at this desk next Wednesday. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hey man, found this oatmeal in the microwave, and I'm assuming it's yours. Yes, that is, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, I've just been very busy with all this work lately. You may have some if you'd like. No, gross, I can't stand oatmeal. Of course, yeah. I'm glad you're here, actually, brother, because I've been meaning to speak to you about something. Oh, what, you want to talk to me how I can boost my ratings some more? No, I mean to level with you, brother. You see, I was born as a shadow baby, meaning that I have no reflection, and also, apparently, no soul. I grew up at an orphanage in London, though that didn't last for long. There was one day, a bully was on my case, so I stabbed him in the gut with a soup spoon. And from that day forward, it was apparent that I could never be adopted by anyone. I had to fight for everything in my life. I fought for food. I fought for my education. I fought for my denim jacket. And so you could imagine me at a public library in the computer lab one night, finding a website called GameTrailers.com and seeing a man with my face dancing around in a suit like some sort of privileged toddler. I admit to you today, brother, that I've infiltrated GameTrailers.com in order to tear you apart. Oh. But something changed. I've started to like it here. I like the work. I like the people. I like that there are just conversations happening all around. Worst of all, brother, I'm starting to like you. And it's bizarre to me that I could even find that in myself. And so I'm just enjoying it here. I came to Game Trailers to cause chaos, but I want to stay. I'm happy to have found a place where people just seem to love video games. Wow, man. And I have to admit, for the first time in my life, I feel like I can look into a mirror. I feel like your upper lip's a little droopier than mine, though. Brother, we both have very droopy upper lips, but yours is far droopier than mine. Anyway, I'm glad that we're cool now. To be honest, brother, I was kinda hoping I could meet Dad. Oh. That's not gonna happen. There's flaming hot Cheetos in this.
I'm deathly allergic to flaming hot Cheetos.
I know.
How?
I have a friend who comes from the future.
What's happening?
I just poisoned your oatmeal, bro.